Good morning, and we are in Genesis 6 and through 11 and Moses 8, and we've got a lot in here. Of course, it's about the flood and Moses, and not Moses, Noah. I'm just going to read this first verse and then a verse introduction, and then we'll talk about what it means. So we're talking about Noah found grace in the eyes of the Lord. Living in the latter days, we have special reason to pay attention to the story of the flood. When Jesus taught how we should watch for his second coming, he said, "As it was in the days of Noah, so it shall be in the coming of also at the coming of the Son of Man." In addition, words that described Noah's day, like corrupt, filled with violence, could easily describe our time. The story of the Tower of Babel also feels applicable in our day, with its description of pride followed by confusion and then division. These ancient accounts are valuable, not just because they show us that wickedness repeats itself throughout history. More important, they teach us what to do about it. Noah found grace in the eyes of the Lord, and the families of Jared and his brother turned to the Lord and were protected from confusion and division in the Bible, in Babel, and that's in Ether. If ye wonder how to keep yourselves and your families safe during corruption and violence, the stories in these chapters have much to teach us, and we're going to take each chapter as it comes. I will start with Genesis 6. We'll then switch to Moses 8, and then we'll go to Genesis 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. Is it 11? Yeah, I think it's up to 11. And take one each day and look what it has. So we start with Genesis and Moses. Genesis 6 and Moses 8. And I'm just going to go through the topics we're going to discuss. There are spiritual safety in following the Lord's prophet. And I think that's going to be significant. And we're going to learn a little bit about Methuselah as well. And we'll talk about those tomorrow. We've also got the video here, Why Do We Have Prophets? It's a short video. It's 1 minute, 37 seconds. Really good about thinking about the patterns. I remember when I was working in schools, that patterns were what you work off almost all the time. And when you're working with math and science, you're looking for patterns. You're looking for something that is consistent. And we can do that with God's plans for his prophets. The flood was an act of God's mercy, and we'll talk more about that, and we'll probably quote a few things like here from Neil A. Maxwell, where he says corruption had reached an agency-destroying point, that spirits could not in justice be sent there. Tokens or symbols help me remember my covenants with the Lord. So I think that's important. That I'm going to point something out at the end here. And following Christ is the only way to Heavenly Father, and I believe that's what we end on. I just want to come up here right at the beginning, I think that's where it is. So we have in the related content, and it seems like there's a lot in this one. There probably is sometimes in other ones, but each of the related content, if you see, they almost all come from the Leona, the children's for either children, young adults, or adult members. This here is a song that we sing often in as a sacrament song, reverently and meekly now. Beautifully done, and it gives you a chance to sit back and listen to the words and how it can tie in. So I think it's really important that you can take time to discover this yourself, and hopefully you get a lot from it. And I've spent some time in there, and have pulled a lot of things out of here. It's been really nice already, and I'm looking forward to diving into it tomorrow. So today, I hope you get a chance to dive in a little bit yourself, and then tomorrow, we'll start with Genesis 6.